from the shadows deep, where the mind and body meet. Every heartbeat pounds like thunder, a call to awaken, no time to wonder. Push the limit, feel the fire, one step closer, climbing higher. Warriors unleashed, breaking chains, chasing dreams, the power's in you. Let it scream, get inspired, stand tall, fight the beast, champions for life, warriors unleashed. Every scar's a story, every drop's a fight, sweat and soul under the light. Strength's not given, it's earned in flames. Through the storm, remember your name. Push the limit, feel the fire, one step closer, climbing higher. Warriors unleashed, breaking chains, chasing dreams, the power's in you. Let it scream, get inspired, stand tall, fight the beast, champions for life, warriors unleashed. Push the limit, feel the fire, one step closer, climbing higher. Warriors unleashed, breaking chains, chasing dreams, the power's in you. Let it scream, get inspired, stand tall, fight the beast, champions for life, warriors unleashed. Warriors unleashed. Warriors unleashed. Warriors
Sims Nation, welcome to another edition of Warriors Unleashed, and I am your host, Positively Pat Sims. I am very grateful to be here with you today, and as you can see, I left my little pop filter on the microphone, which may affect a little bit of the volume, but it should drown out some of those nice little pops that we get during the show. And I took it off because I always thought it looked better without it. But we're going to stick with it now just to try to clear up the audio a little bit in terms of the pops and the fizzes and that kind of thing. So if it sounds a little muffled compared to before, let me know that. I always want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys think of our quality in terms of sound, in terms of picture. I always like getting feedback from you guys because that's how we make sure that everything is the way we want it to be here on Warriors Unleashed, as well as our other shows like the Positively Pat Sims show that we'll hear about tomorrow. But I want to say good evening to all of the Sims Nation that is listening in on WANT Radio, and whether you're listening on the WANT Radio app or WANTradio.com or through Live 365, however you join us on WANT, thank you for doing so. We really appreciate you. And WANT is available 24/7. We have music, we have comedy, we have all kinds of stuff. You can even hear my Off to a Good Start album, which is a comedy album from the first 2 years of the Positively Pat Sims radio program, where we did a lot of comedy sketches and stuff. So that's from that. But before we jump into today's show, which is about finding that heart of gratitude within you, I want to just really quickly show you guys something. And first, I'll just show you right here. This is the Warriors Unleashed ceramic ornament. And there are 4 different styles. There's the circle, there is a heart, a snowflake, and a star version. Now, these ornaments are available at positivelypatsims.printful.me. They are $8 a piece, so you can go over there right now and pick up your ornaments. And we have them for all of the shows that we have, not just for this one. So if you want to grab yourself one, please do so. And I'm going to show you in real life that they are exactly as they appear on the website. So if you're watching on YouTube, there is the ornament. Beautiful ornament. This is the snowflake version of the Warriors Unleashed logo. And this one right here is the circle version of the Positively Pat Sims show. And both of these will be going up on our tree here in the Sims household this weekend. As you can see, we've already decorated everything else, but we saved decorating the tree for post-Thanksgiving. But these ornaments are really, really cool. They're really nice. I can't wait to get them up. They're going to look fantastic on our tree. But it's just another thing that I have to be grateful for this year. And I think so many people have a rough time during the holidays. And I thought, let's kick off the post-Thanksgiving, where people tend to quickly forget about Thanksgiving, and jump right into Christmas and that time of year. People start prepping for New Year's. People start prepping for Christmas, for Hanukkah, for all of these holidays that all sort of come together and take place in a very short amount of time. But we forget about Thanksgiving, and I think Thanksgiving should be the holiday that truly kicks off the holiday season. It shouldn't just be that holiday we look forward to because it just fills our bellies for a day. Because it's another excuse for us to chow down. It's another excuse to get together with family and so, which is great, don't get me wrong. Right? But it seems that Thanksgiving seems to be all centered around the meal. All right? Would the family gather together if there was no meal? Like, that's kind of like the question I get. If there was no meal to be had, would everyone still come together for Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving should be the beginning of the holiday season and carry on through all the rest of the holidays that are to come. And that's why we held off our episode strictly talking about giving thanks and gratitude until the day after Thanksgiving. We could have done this show last week in the lead up to Thanksgiving. Some people might say that would have made more sense. But to me, Thanksgiving is such an important holiday because it reminds us of the importance of giving thanks. And unfortunately, for so many people, it just reminds you how much you enjoy eating stuffing and mashed potatoes and turkey and whatever other meats you might have available, and bread rolls and desserts and all these things that you feast upon in preparation for the next big feast a month later. But giving thanks should be something that you don't just wait and roll around to do once every year. It should be something that you do every day. You see, it's hard not to talk about faith when you're talking about Thanksgiving and giving thanks, because who or what are you giving thanks to? I mean, that's a big one. And for me, that's God. I'm giving thanks to God. And when you go to church, one of the things you do every single Sunday is you sit in church and you give thanks. You know, a lot of people think about prayer, and what they think when it comes to prayer is they think of just asking for stuff, right? And I always go back to the Lord's Prayer, which everybody knows. You know, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We're immediately honoring God right off the bat. We're not asking for anything, and we're not doing anything. We're honoring first and foremost. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who trespass against us. That is the only thing, right? We're asking for one thing, and that's sustenance. That's the food that we need to get through another day. And forgiveness for all the sins that we've done wrong. Lead us not into temptation. We sinned. We need forgiveness for those sins. Now help me not commit those sins again. Because why do we fall? We fall so that we can learn to pick ourselves back up. But deliver us from evil, for thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. So yes, there is some asking in there, but it's not asking for stuff. The only thing we're asking for is something we need to live. We need to survive. We're not asking to win the lottery. We're not asking for the newest, latest, and greatest technology or iPhone or whatever it is that you're craving in this life. That stuff that you can't take with you. The rest of it all has to do with here and here. Your heart and your mind. To be forgiven is a gift. To be given the strength to fight off evil and temptation is a gift that helps bring us closer to Him. Now, I'm not here to just preach to you. All right? I'm not here to judge you for what you believe, on your faith. I'm not here to judge you on anything. Really, I'm not. Who am I? What I am here to do is I want to listen to you. I want you guys, if you're listening on WANT, on YouTube, we have a live chat. Now, I'm not asking anyone to leave whichever way you're listening or watching Warriors Unleashed. I'm not. But if you want to be a part of the show, you can listen to WANT and get involved in the live chat. Give me a little double love through WANT and YouTube. That would be cool. But I want to hear from you guys about the things that you're grateful for. And really, what are the things that give you that heart of gratitude in this life? Because so often in this life we get caught up in things, in junk. I know I do. I mean, look around me. I wouldn't call any of this junk because the majority of everything you see here was a gift. I didn't really buy much of any of what you see around me for me. All right. Birthday gift, weight loss reward gift. My wife got me pretty much every Christmas town. I would pick them out, but she's the one that, here, there you go. DDPY gave me this belt. I didn't pay for that belt. DDPY gave me that belt for being a 2021 DDPY Positively Unstoppable Challenge champion. I'm grateful for things deeper than what you see around me. The things that you see around me are the very definition of what you would call the icing on the cake, right? The things you see around me is what you would call having your cake and eating it too. Any analogy you want to give, right? You can give it. But the things that truly make me happy in this life are not what you see around you. They're not things. They're not possessions. The things I'm truly grateful for are what fill my soul. And I see in the chat here, and I know it's been there for a little bit here, but it says, I'm thankful for shelter, for food, electricity, and running water. All things that too many people in this world go without. And some might say, well, those are things. These are things that in certain and many situations keep you alive, keep you healthy, keep you happy. Having a roof over your head is getting harder and harder for many, many people. Being able to put food on the table for more than 2 people in a household is becoming more and more challenging, especially if you're talking about putting healthy food on the table. It's easy to go on that ramen diet when you can get 10 of them for $10. But to truly eat healthy, it's going to cost you a little bit more. Electricity is not getting any cheaper. Electricity costs. And during the wintertime, a lot of people run their heaters, which can run up your gas bill a little bit unless you have electric heaters. And during the summertime, pretty much everyone's electricity bill goes up because they run their air conditioners. And when you have one like ours, sometimes it can really rack up a bill. Running water. The body needs water. We fill up our Brita probably twice a day because we drink lots of water in this household. We take showers. We have baths. All things there that a lot of people have and take for granted, and a lot of people don't have and would give anything to be able to enjoy. There are people out there that don't have shelter and who have too much pride to go to a shelter because it's a form of admitting defeat. They'd rather sleep on the street than go have someone else take care of them at a shelter. There are people that are starving. There are people who, whether hot or cold, they have to deal with the elements, who have to find water wherever they can find it. And if you were to ask those people, is there anything in this life that you're actually grateful for, that you're thankful for? I bet that those people would have deeper and more meaningful answers than the people who have everything. I've heard a lot of people give thanks for the stuff in their lives. I've heard people say that they're grateful that they make a certain amount of money. Now, that's great because you need a certain amount of money to survive and to live. But at the end of the day, money isn't going to get you anywhere when it's all said and done. What did you do that was meaningful in your life? And by meaningful, it has a different meaning to everyone. Because what is it you want to do most in life? What is it you're passionate about? What is it that drives you? What is it that you're passionate about? You might be passionate about helping others. So when someone asks you, what are you grateful for? How is it that you are living a life of gratitude? How is it that you have a heart of gratitude? You might be grateful that you have the means and the ability to help others. Not that you have the means to buy stuff, but you have the ability and the means to provide for someone else. My wife and I talk about love languages. My wife's love language is touch. And mine is gifts. But it's not just getting gifts. I also enjoy giving gifts. One of the greatest things about becoming a parent, one of the things I'm so grateful for is being a parent, having children. One of the really cool things about being a parent is Christmas coming up. That moment, especially when they're little and they're excited and they want to see what Santa brought them, and they're out of bed before you are and they're rushing down. Well, not me, because I like to be the one waking them up to get them to the tree, because I was just as excited as they were. And you work hard all year long so that Christmas morning can feel so special. And not once when I was a kid did I ever think that my parents were just as excited about Christmas morning as I could be. You know, when you were a kid and you couldn't sleep because you were listening for reindeer on your roof, or you were listening for Santa walking through your living room, or maybe you were just excited because you knew that tomorrow was going to be present day. It was going to be Christmas Day. And you couldn't have been happier. And so you couldn't sleep. Your energy was so high. Your adrenaline was pumping, and you could not fall asleep until it got the wee hours of the morning and you just couldn't stay awake anymore. Your body you fell asleep because your body gave out is what happened. And little did you know that down the hall, your parents might be doing the exact same thing. And I am grateful for that feeling that I get, that I still haven't lost that feeling. I am grateful every day that I'm excited about the day to come. And when it's a holiday the next day, when it's a birthday, when it's a special occasion, I get even more excited. That zest for life. If you have that, that is something to be grateful for. That is something to be thankful for. The ability to be excited about what is yet to come. People dread the next day. There are people that just do not want to get up in the morning. And there's a difference between just being super tired and just wanting to get some rest, and being the kind that just does not want to get out of bed because what does the world have to offer? Yesterday sucked. What do I want to get out of bed for? It's just going to be another mess like it was yesterday. And I feel bad. I feel bad for those people. And one of the reasons I feel bad for those people is because I know how they feel, because I used to be one of those people. I hated getting up every day. And a lot of times I didn't like doing it because I woke up and there was nobody there. And I'm not talking about before I was married. I'm talking about after I was married, because our schedules were always different. We were always off. And even when we were on the same schedule, I was so unhealthy and so unhappy and so everything. I was sleeping on the couch for years. And so when I woke up, there was nobody there. There was nobody that I kissed good morning or even said good morning to. It's no way to live. And that's on me. I did that to myself. And so I'm also grateful for multiple things when it comes to this story. Number one, I'm grateful and I'm thankful that my wife and I have persevered through all of this. That we have worked together for a better future for ourselves, for our children. That even though we make mistakes, still we work through them. Because that's what you do when you love someone. Truly love someone. You fight for them. Marriage is not easy. It's not you get married and you live happily ever after. You get married and then things get tough. You go through trials and tribulations, and you have to remember that you made a vow to each other that you're going to love, honor, and cherish through sickness and in health, through richer for poor, for better for worse. It's not that you're going to be with them when things are good, and when things are bad, that's when you get to walk away. No, it says better or worse. Through richer or poor. Either way. It takes work. And if you're not willing to do that work, then you shouldn't make the vow. Now, I'm not saying there aren't circumstances to which people should or shouldn't part ways. I'm not getting all high and mighty on that one. But what I'm saying is there's too many people out there that when things start going bad, just start going bad. Instead of course correcting and fixing the problem, they let it get out of control. It spirals until they see no hope. My favorite is giving gifts. Reading this in the chat, just the ability to is amazing. Seeing their smiles is the best ever. Exactly. Seeing people be thankful for something that you were able to provide for them when for so long maybe it felt like there was a lot of question marks there. You know, I know we've had Christmases where we weren't sure if we were going to be able to put gifts under the tree. There were years where we relied on the kindness of others to try to have a truly Merry Christmas. So much work. It hurt a lot and for a lot of years, but it was worth it. That's my wife. And that's true. It's very true. Anything worth doing is going to be challenging in some way, shape, or form. And I'll say this. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that the things in life that are worth doing aren't the things that are just handed to you. They're easily gotten. They're things you have to work at. They're things that you have to challenge yourself to achieve. I have learned the value of that. And I have learned to appreciate those things now more than ever. And a lot of that, of course, obviously started with my weight loss journey and in 2021. You know, when you first get started with a program like DDPY and you start training and you start working out, and I remember in all of my ignorance thinking like, I'm pretty good at this DDP yoga stuff. And then you see yourself doing it and you're like, oh, I'm not very good at this DDP yoga stuff at all. But the beauty of it is they encourage you to modify. And I was modifying for sure. And every day I wanted to do something a little bit better. So every day I had to challenge myself to be better than I was the day before. And when you do that, you start to see changes. You start to see that you're getting better in terms of your form, in terms of your strength, in terms of your endurance, your flexibility. All of that stuff starts to improve little by little until it looks like you've improved by leaps and bounds. Weight loss is the same way. You have got to challenge yourself to eat right, because eating wrong is so much easier. And for a lot of people, eating wrong is not only easier, but it's cheaper. Not only is it easier and cheaper, a lot of times it just tastes freaking good. And once you get used to a healthier way of eating and a healthier lifestyle, and you start to appreciate what that does for you, and you start getting used to a little bit different flavor profile, you don't miss a lot of that flavor stuff that you used to crave all the time. Sure, I crave desserts. I crave things that I used to have back when I was big. I haven't had a full-on soda. I haven't had a diet soda. I haven't had a regular soda in almost 5 years now. And, well, 4.5. Let's just say 4.5. And it's safe to say it's one of those things I just don't have a desire to indulge in anymore. And I've tried other substitutes, and I'm not big on those very much either. There are certain desserts that I haven't touched in a long time and don't have much of a desire to. There's restaurants, full-on restaurants that I used to go to constantly and that I have no desire to go to. I grew up at Del Taco. If some of you don't know about Del Taco, it's a fast food restaurant. I don't know if they're nationwide. I think they are. But my mom worked at a Del Taco. I grew up in a Del Taco. And I loved Del Taco. I could eat there every day. You'd think I would have been sick of it growing up at a Del Taco, but I didn't. And I've said this before to people. I've said this was my normal order for a lunch or dinner. Breakfast might be even worse because they did serve breakfast there. But I would get a chicken cheddar quesadilla. I would get a spicy chicken burrito. I would get 2 chicken soft tacos. I would get chili cheese fries. Big thing of chili cheese fries. And a macho Mr. Pibb. And if anybody else didn't finish their food, I would finish it for them. Breakfast was even worse. I love good breakfast Mexican food and stuff, and this was neither. But I ate it, and I could plow it away, plow it down. The fact I wasn't over 350, over 4 is, I don't know how that was possible. But, sorry, I'm chewing on ice. But I'm grateful that I can look back on that. And I can understand not just what was wrong in the habit, but what was wrong with me inside and why I was eating that way, and understanding everything that went into making me who I was, and then being grateful for everything I did to make me who I am today. And I'm also grateful for everyone else who had a hand in making me who I am today. And you want to hear something even crazier? I'm grateful for all the people who had a hand in making me who I was. Because who I was became who I am. And I like who I am. And it took me a long time to say that. And I don't say it enough. I actually don't. Most people don't. Most people don't say, I like me. I like who I am. And it's because we find our flaws. We find our faults. And when you live a life of gratitude, when you have a heart of gratitude, you start to see the positives in life. Now, I don't think I'll ever look at myself in the mirror and think, you got it. You are there. All we got to do is just keep what you got. Just maintain this, and you're going to be good for the rest of your life. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Every time I look in the mirror, I go, yeah, I could work on that. Oh, that's not where I want it to be. I could put on a little more muscle there. There's a little bit work to do here. There's work to do there. Every day. And that's kind of that double-edged sword. When you first start losing weight and you first start looking better as well as feeling better, you start to gain that confidence in yourself, right? You start to feel better about how you look. You start to feel better about how you feel. But then you get to this point where now you're starting to go like, it's clicking in your head like, okay, now when I work hard in this way, it changes the way my body looks in this way. So I'm going to keep doing that so that I can look even better, right? Why do most people lift weights? Most people lift weights so that they look better, so that they look more muscular. They don't do it because they're professional bodybuilders or because they're professional athletes or because they're competing in some kind of strongman competition. The majority of people go to the gym or work out at home for aesthetic purposes so that they can look better, fill out their t-shirt, so that they're not afraid to take that t-shirt off when they go to a water park or the beach. It's about how you look, right? But sometimes you just need to be grateful that you're healthy. You need to be grateful and thankful that you're here. See, I'm grateful and thankful that I'm here right now, that I'm doing Warriors Unleashed here with you on WANT Radio, wherever you want it, you got it, and live on YouTube. I'm grateful for it. And the one thing I always say to myself, is tell myself, is be thankful for the time that you have. Because at any moment, it could all be over. And the last thing I want to do is have my last moments be regretting what I didn't do, regretting how I look or how I feel about myself, feeling bad and down about the things that I didn't achieve in my life, blah, 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 blah. Instead, I want to live a life of gratitude, have a heart of gratitude, and be thankful for everything I do have today. A lot of people live in the past, and that's why they have a problem being thankful or being grateful, because things didn't go the way that they wanted them to in the past. And when things don't go the way, sorry, I had to stop something that was happening over here. When things don't go the way you want them to in the past, they then let it affect how they feel about themselves in the present and even in the future. They let the past dictate the present and the future. The future has yet to be written. I try not to worry about the future. I try to focus and live in the now with the hopes that what I'm doing today can make a better tomorrow. Every time I do this show, I do it to the best of my ability. I give you guys all of me. I pour myself out in this show. When I do the Positively Pat Sims show, I give you everything I have. I give you every bit of knowledge, every bit of information, every bit of fun that can be had from professional wrestling, and I love every second of it. And if I have 5 people, or 500, or 5,000, or 50,000, I don't care. But the goal is that day 1, I'm here. Day 2, I'm a little bit further along. I'm grateful for all of it. If I don't make the mistakes that I made in my life in the past, I don't find any success in what I'm doing today. We learn from those mistakes. I'm grateful that I've been able to watch other people make mistakes so that I don't make the same ones and move forward that way. I'm grateful that I have the ability to be a better role model and example for my children. I'm grateful that I can be a better husband for my wife. But I'm also grateful that I have amazing children who are doing amazing things in their life. Yeah, I'm taking a page out of Seth's book. Amazing. But I'm also very grateful that I have a loving wife who has stood by my side for almost 18 years. Who didn't let me give up on me when it could have very easily have happened. I'm grateful for my parents, for my mother, my biological father, and my stepfather. My biological father kind of taught me about what I didn't want to be in my life as a father, as a man, as a husband. My stepfather has taught me a whole different set of lessons, a whole different set of goals for myself. And my mother has always been the rock for me, has always been that constant in my life that I've always been able to look to and say, how should I be reacting? How should I be in this life? And I go, oh, there's your example right there. I'm grateful for everyone that's ever told me you can't. That gave me the desire to do. And I'm grateful for everyone who's ever stood by my side and said, you can do it. We're here for it. We can't wait to see what you do next. Because those people give me hope every day. I'm thankful for a lot of my DDPY warriors and my fellow champions who have inspired me over the years, who at times when I felt like I just didn't have what it took to get up that day and get it done, inspired me to do it anyway. For the ones who reached out to me after my surgery, after my shoulder replacement, and gave me words of encouragement, who sent me good wishes and prayed for me. They helped give me the strength that I needed to overcome on a level that even to this day, I am extremely proud of and grateful for. I'm grateful for the doctors who took care of me. I'm grateful for the shoulder replacement. I'll never forget how grateful and thankful I was the morning after the first night that I got a full night's sleep. When you go years with averaging 2 to 3 hours of sleep because of pain, and all of a sudden you're getting a full night's rest, it's magic. And I remember immediately saying, thank you. I was thankful to God. I was thankful to my surgeon. I was thankful to everyone, my wife for taking care of me. I was thankful for all of it. And I got kind of greedy for sleep. And I'm talking about good sleep. I'm not talking about medication-induced sleep. I'm talking about I'm off meds. I'm sleeping now because I'm tired, and I got a full night's sleep because I wasn't waking up in constant pain. I'm grateful to be alive. And I'm grateful for everyone that I have in my life. Everyone. It's really powerful. That's why I keep pausing. It's incredibly powerful for me to think about how grateful and thankful I am for everyone who's a part of my life, who plays a role in making me who I am today. You know, I've been to therapy, mental and physical. And I remember in seeing a psychiatrist or whatever, whoever it was, their therapist, and always finding someone else to blame. You know, my father was an easy target. You know, oh, if your father hadn't done this, you probably wouldn't have turned out like that. Well, if your father hadn't done this, you probably wouldn't have done. And as I've gotten older, I just find that to be a crock. See, I don't blame my father for anything wrong with my life. And even though I know he played a huge role in my shoulder replacement, I don't blame him for it. I'm not mad at him for it. I don't hold a grudge. I try not to hold grudges against anyone. I would like to think that I'm a very understanding and forgiving person. I try not to hold anything against anyone. We're all sinful. We all make mistakes. So that includes me. And if I can be forgiven and I can have people, you know, move forward with mistakes that I've made, why can't I do the same thing? Because it's another thing I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the fact that I am forgiven. I'm grateful for the fact that not only does God forgive me, but I've had friends and family that have forgiven me for the things that I've done in my life. I've had all of it. And I'm grateful that I have the capacity to forgive, because I just feel like it would be a miserable life if you couldn't. If you couldn't look at someone who wronged you, and even if it was for selfish reasons, forgive them, even just so you could move on. Everything in life matters. There's a way of looking at everything that you go through in life and everyone who comes into your life. There's a way of looking at it in a positive way. No matter what's happened, no matter what they may have done to you, no matter what happened between you. Because if those things don't happen to you in your life, if those people don't come into your life, maybe you're not where you are today. Now, if you're in a place that you're not happy with who you are or where you are, then it's time to start taking a look inside and trying to find those things that you are truly grateful for, that you are thankful for, and then start to work on the rest. Start to put in the work to fix the rest of it. If you're thankful and you're grateful for your dog, but not your best friend, that's something you need to work on. If you're thankful for your wife, but not your parents, that's something you need to work on. I try to find something to be thankful and grateful for in everything in life. There are things that the worst people I've ever known have taught me that I'm thankful for and grateful for. Does it make them good people? No. But it means that they taught me something in my life, a lesson that I am thankful and grateful for. Maybe it's because they were bad and that's why you're thankful. I'm thankful I got to see that firsthand so that I know what it feels like when that happens, and I can turn and I can say, I'm never doing that. Life is hard enough as it is. Every time you think you have life figured out, it flips a switch and changes the rules of the game. So don't waste another second being ungrateful for the life that you've been given. Don't waste another second worrying about the things that are outside of your controls. Don't waste another second being miserable in your own skin. Do something about it. Change the story you tell yourself in your own mind. You don't have to be miserable every day. You don't have to be unhappy every day. You can choose to make the change one step at a time to be happy and to have a heart that's grateful and to live a life of gratitude. I'm grateful for each and every one of you that has joined me here tonight, whether it be on WANT radio or live streaming here on YouTube. You guys always are so important to me in what I do on this show. You know, I'm not doing this because it makes me a bunch of money. I do it because I enjoy it, because I have a passion for it, as I want to help other people out there. I want to try to inspire others, and that's why I tell you guys to get inspired. And when you get inspired, that's when you can take that and then you can be an inspiration. So ask yourself this. Now we're coming to the end of the show, so if you're watching this back on demand or whether you're watching it live, however you're watching it, leave me a message in the comments. Let me know what you're thankful for, what you're grateful for, and the truth. Not stuff, not things that really are inconsequential in this life. As much as I love my Lego Black Pearl, that was a gift from my son. At the end of the day, I don't need that to be alive. It was a way for my son to show me how much he loves me as his father, which is great. But tell me what you're truly grateful for. What is it about you that makes you grateful? What is it about you that you're truly thankful for this year? We are just a short hop, skip, and a jump away from Christmas. And because we are just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Christmas, you need one of these. The Warriors Unleashed ceramic ornament, ladies and gentlemen. And if you dare so, we also have the Positively Pat Sims ceramic ornament. And all you got to do, guys, is just head on over to positivelypatsims.printful.me and you will find all of our Positively Pat Sims merch, including our ornament selection that has all of our different logos. You'll find our t-shirts, our cell phone cases, our shoes, our hats, our teddy bears, all of it right there for you guys. I am so excited. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. So once again, guys, thank you so much for being a part of Warriors Unleashed right here on WANT Radio, where if you want it, we got it. And right here live streaming on YouTube. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close this out the way that I always do, as my wife's pretending to try to make me laugh. Get out there and get inspired to be an inspiration. So long, everybody. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you tomorrow morning for our Survivor Series War Games preview and prediction show right here on WANT and YouTube. So long, everybody.
The lights are dim, but the room still hums with the echoes of laughter and the moments we spun. Every honest word is like a stone in a stream. It rippled, it lingered, it shaped our dream. And if you ever wonder where I'll be, look to the screen, I'll be there, you'll see. Goodbye to the faces that stayed in the glow. Goodbye to the voices I always know. This isn't an end, just a bend in the road. Goodbye for now, my friends, my show. The cameras rolled and the stories grew. Each review a mirror of me and you. Through coffee stains and late night calls, we built a world behind these walls. And if you ever